On Sunday, July 10th, 2022, just after midnight in Tulsa, Oklahoma, detectives receive an urgent call from Hillcrest Hospital security. A woman bleeding heavily from a chest wound has been dropped off outside the ER. The man who brought her is also wounded, with a bullet hole through his forearm.
Tulsa Police.
Hi, I'm with security, Hillcrest, Maine. We have a gunshot victim that just entered our ER. It's a female. She may be either Native American or Hispanic.
Okay, we'll get somebody over there.
The woman is 49-year-old Tabitha Sinclair. In less than an hour, she will sadly pass away. What starts as a frantic emergency rapidly unravels into a deadly mystery, entangled with stolen property, betrayal, and a murder that will shock those closest to her. As detectives rush into Hillcrest Hospital, they track down the on-duty doctor for a grim update on the chaotic shooting that landed 2 victims in the ER.
Are you here for the shooting?
Yep.
Where was she hit?
He has a friend also been shot.
He dropped her off in the ambulance bay.
Okay. Do we have any idea where this happened
They
at?
said it was at Highway 11 in Tisdale. They just left the Osage Casino. Car filled up, they started unloading.
After leaving the Osage Casino in Tisdale, the victim and her friend were driving along Highway 11 when another car pulled up beside them and opened fire. Bullets tore through the hood and shattered the area around the taillight. This wasn't a random drive-by. It was a calculated, targeted hit.
If you could have a car go out to the intersection and look for shell casings and all that stuff.
She was expired. She was dead and we pulled her out.
Tabitha Sinclair was born in Long Beach, California. She grew up in Claremore, Oklahoma, and later attended the Spartan School of Aeronautics in Tulsa. She had 3 adult children. In recent years, life had been unkind. She was living out of her car after losing her husband and struggling to get by. Tabitha was shot once in the chest and pronounced dead shortly after arriving at the hospital. The man who had been in the car with her was also wounded, a bullet to the arm, but he survived. However, his behavior immediately raised red flags. He appeared evasive, reluctant to answer the detective's questions, and when he did respond, his answers were vague and inconsistent. Instead of showing concern for Tabitha or staying to assist, he seemed more interested in leaving the hospital as quickly as possible, something the detectives found deeply suspicious. The male who had survived the shooting told the detectives where it had happened, near an intersection just east of the Osage Casino. When investigators arrived at the scene, they recovered 4 9mm shell casings scattered along the roadside. The position and angle of the casings suggested the shots were fired from the front left side of a vehicle, directly toward the passenger seat where Tabitha had been sitting. The man is located and brought into the police station for questioning. Now, detectives hope to finally uncover what really happened that night.
Call me Vernon. This is my partner, Detective Farrell. And I know you're going through a tough time, buddy. And we're just going to talk about what happened tonight.
Just didn't tell you straight from the very beginning what happened. We get to the casino.
What time did you guys get to the casino?
It's like 8:45 or 9 o'clock. We're gonna leave. We'll get out to the car. I'll get in the driver's seat, get ready to start the car. I start to back up, car pulls up.
What kind of car is it?
I don't know. Is it crossover? Maybe like reddish orange color. It's a girl and a guy.
According to the male victim, a man and a woman exited their vehicle and began walking toward Tabitha's car. What happened next would mark the beginning of a chilling sequence of events.
Tabitha was getting in the car when the words were exchanged. Because I don't know exactly what they said to each other. Just all over a backpack she left in the car.
Who left the backpack in the car?
That girl.
He says Tabitha and the woman began arguing. According to him, 3 days earlier, he and Tabitha had given the woman a ride, and she'd left her backpack in Tabitha's car. That, he claims, is what started the confrontation. But does that story really make sense to you?
She left it in there and she thought we were trying to steal it or something. And I gave it back to them. And then they left. So I thought it was over with. So I proceeded to back out and leave.
Okay.
And then we get to a stoplight. So I stopped. And then pow, Foul, foul.
He says the argument about the backpack seemed to be resolved, and they went on their way. But at the next red light, a car pulled up beside them and opened fire. He claims he didn't see who was inside, and couldn't even say if it was the same vehicle from earlier. But even in the chaos of a shooting, wouldn't you at least notice the color of the car?
It was like 2 seconds, man. It was like instant. Bow, bow. I knew I'd been hit. And she said she'd been hit. I didn't see. You couldn't tell.
So when the shots are going off, you didn't look to see the car taken off or anything?
Oh, man, when the shots happened, I didn't really think about anything but duck down and drive. I didn't look up.
But you're sure people that shot at you were the same people in that same car?
Only I can say is just I get out of the it. I mean, but I couldn't see the car. And I felt my arm burning. I lowered, and that's when she was spitting out blood. I just hit the gas and went through the red light and everything. Just put pressure on her wound. And I just kept on there, stay with me, talk to me. Stay with me, stay with me. I'm getting to the hospital. I tried to go as fast as I could.
Let's describe the female.
The detectives then asked the man to describe the couple from the backpack argument. With no details about the shooter's car or who was inside, he leaves the detectives believing the shooters were likely the same couple from earlier. But could it just be a coincidence?
Oh, 5'10", heavier set.
What color hair?
Black.
Black hair. How old did the female look to you?
30s, 40. The dude, he was shorter, white, little scruffy beard thing.
Okay. About how old do you look to you? So let me ask you this. When was the first time you kind of met her?
A couple years ago. And it was not like we hung out or anything.
Okay.
Just saying hello on passing.
Okay. Are you friends with her on Facebook, or have you ever seen her Facebook page or anything like that?
Yeah.
What's her last name on the Facebook page?
Singing Fox. She friend requested me, and that was it.
The detectives believe the man is withholding information about the shooting. They don't buy the story that it was just over leaving a backpack in someone's car. They're convinced there's more to his story. What makes it even more suspicious is that the man knew the woman with the backpack, Carla Singing Fox. He was friends with her on Facebook. This was the same woman who argued with Tabitha.
What about this guy? Have you ever seen this dude before tonight?
Around the casino, too. I go to the casino quite a bit.
She goes by Chevelle or Carla?
I think so.
Singing Fox. Would you happen to be friends with this guy on Facebook?
No.
Okay. Besides Carla and this dude tonight, does Tabitha have any other enemies or maybe an ex-boyfriend or something that's been kind of bothering her? Anything like that?
No. It's good people.
Yeah.
She just had a rough time. Her husband just died.
Oh, really? Wow.
She's been living out of the car.
Yeah, I could tell. She's living out of her car.
I just tried to save her. She didn't deserve it. If anybody deserved it, I deserve it. I deserve it for it.
The man may be overwhelmed with guilt, expressing a deep sense of self-loathing when he says, "I deserve a bullet." It could suggest he feels unworthy of life, possibly believing he deserves punishment. But could he be withholding key information from the detectives?
Why would you get killed over this?
People don't like people who snitch. That's what this is. She didn't deserve to be shot.
I'm sorry for your luck, man, all right? Take my card. Call me if you need anything, all right?
The detectives want to learn more about Carla Singing Fox, so they search the police database using her first name and date of birth. They soon discover her real name is Jacqueline Mills. Carla Singing Fox is just a fake name she uses online. Jacqueline Mills is a mother of 4 from Seattle, Washington, and works as a welder. She also has a criminal past with previous convictions for drug trafficking and, notably, robbery with a dangerous weapon. Detectives obtain CCTV footage from the Osage Casino, capturing a heated confrontation between Tabitha and her male friend, and Jacqueline Mills with her unidentified male accomplice. The footage shows an orange car pulling up behind Tabitha's vehicle, boxing her in. The male accomplice exits the orange car and approaches Tabitha's driver's side door. As Tabitha steps out, Jacqueline Mills leaps from the car, brandishing a gun and aiming it directly at her. The two women erupt into a heated argument, shouting at each other. Jacqueline, still gripping the gun, strikes Tabitha, who fights back fiercely. Meanwhile, the two men remain passive, their attention fixed on the women's altercation. After the fight, a large backpack is handed to the male accomplice, while Jacqueline receives a smaller one. As the suspects prepare to leave, Tabitha defiantly sticks her middle finger up at them. Moments later, the orange car speeds away, with Tabitha and her friend following shortly after. Detectives now turn their attention to tracking down the suspect's vehicle, an orange Saturn Vue. Running the tag number leads them to an owner in Oklahoma City, not Tulsa. With this lead, they plan to locate Jacqueline Mills, bring her in for questioning, and see if the vehicle is at her address. They also hope to identify and locate her male accomplice, who may hold key information about the shooting. Detectives head to Jacqueline's address. When they arrive, they immediately spot the orange car parked outside her apartment. Rather than move in right away, they decide to stake out the area. About 10 minutes later, Jacqueline and her male accomplice exit the apartment. They begin transferring large bags from one vehicle to another. At that point, detectives move in and place both Jacqueline Mills and the man under arrest. Shortly after the arrest, officers discover a pistol hidden underneath the car. Could this be the same weapon used in the shooting? It's a 9mm, the same caliber as the one used in the attack. Both suspects are then taken to the Tulsa Police Department for questioning.
Call me Vernon. This is my partner, Detective Farrell. So walk me through how all this went down. Like, why did all this start?
We're seeing it. And Tabitha came and robbed my car.
During questioning, the man reveals a critical piece of information. He claims that just the day before the shooting, Tabitha and the man she was with had broken into his vehicle. The incident, he says, took place at the same apartment complex where he and Jacqueline were later arrested. According to him, they shattered a window and took several items, including a backpack belonging to Jacqueline, some clothes, and a small amount of weed. It was this alleged theft, he insists, that set everything in motion, leading to the violent confrontation that would leave Tabitha dead just 24 hours later.
The reason I think it was the night before, Tabitha had sent her a message saying, "Keep me occupied."
Throughout the interview, the man refers to Jacqueline by the name Chevelle, the name she used on Facebook and the one most people in their circle knew her by. He claims that just a few hours before realizing his car had been broken into, Tabitha sent a suspicious message to Chevelle. The text simply said, "Keep me occupied." He now believes that message was part of a setup, a distraction that allowed Tabitha and her friend to steal from him.
I was asleep.
Did Chevelle show you that message or something? That's why you
In the morning, yeah.
What all of this shit got in your car?
Took a backpack of Chevelle's and took a big old brown bag that was full of my clothes. There was some weed in there too. Main thing was to bust out my car window.
The man then explains how the confrontation happened that night in the Osage Casino parking lot, an incident later confirmed by CCTV. He says Chevelle arranged to meet Tabitha to confront her about the stolen items. When they arrived, Tabitha and her friend were about to leave.
Ended up driving out there and we pulled up. They were backing out in their car.
Okay.
I just pulled up. And I got out and I was walking over to him to talk to him about it. I said, "Why'd you break my window?" So about that time, Tabitha gets out of the car. She was coming around hollering something. I guess Chevelle got out of the car right then and met her on the way. And she said, "What are you going to do?" It looked like Tabitha tried to sling on her.
The man claims it was Tabitha who struck Jacqueline first, but the casino's security footage tells a different story. It clearly shows Jacqueline as the aggressor. She approached Tabitha with a gun in hand, pointed it directly at her, and even pistol whipped her across the face.
This is pretty much over. We just left. I was driving, and at the light, it pulled right up beside us. he looked over at me and he said, "You and I will talk later." I was like, "There's nothing to talk about here." And Tabitha then starts hollering at Chevelle, and then this bottle of something hit my car, and it bounced off my door. Chevelle, and she just comes up out of nowhere with this freaking pistol. Just says, "Bam, bam, bam, bam." Yeah, I just started firing.
The man says that after the confrontation at the casino, they left the parking lot with him driving the car. As they approached a red light just a short distance away, he noticed Tabitha's car nearby. That's when, according to him, Jacqueline suddenly pulled out a pistol and began firing at Tabitha's vehicle without saying a word.
I said, "What the hell is that for?" This is like, look, you know what they do in the street.
Do you remember how many times she fired her gun?
At least 4.
Did you at any point have a gun in your
Oh,
hand?
hell no.
So, here's the deal. Tabitha's dead. And that's why you're here. I'm telling you to be straight up because
I'm straight. That is exactly what happened.
The man insists that it was Jacqueline who pulled the trigger, killing Tabitha and wounding her friend. Now detectives turn their attention to Jacqueline, hoping to find out who's really telling the truth.
Okay, so what's the beef between them?
He just wanted his stuff. They accidentally grabbed like one of my backpacks, but it's mostly his stuff. You know, his weed, his clothes.
How did they get it?
They busted his window, but I got it in my lap.
What kind of gun did he give you?
It was a compact 9mm, and he said, "Like you help me get my, I'll shoot your butt in the face."
Jacqueline tells a different story. She says that after the confrontation, they left the casino together in the orange Saturn. But according to her, it was the man she was with who pulled the trigger. She claims it was his gun, and he was the one who fired the shots, not her. The blame is now being passed back and forth, with both pointing fingers at each other.
He's saying that you're the one that shot the gun out the car.
I didn't shoot my brother, not again.
Detectives decide to confront the man with Jacqueline's claims that he was the one who pulled the trigger. Now they want to see how he responds when the blame is pointed directly at him.
Did you shoot into that car tonight?
Hell no.
She's pointing the finger at you as being the one that shot the gun.
Oh, it's hilarious.
Detectives are now convinced that Jacqueline was the shooter and decide to charge her with first-degree murder.
Stand up for me, honey.
Jacqueline Mills took a plea for second-degree murder and was handed a 45-year term. Ballistics confirmed that the handgun officers found under the vehicle during her arrest was the one used in the shooting. Neither the wounded companion nor the orange Saturn's registered owner faced any charges in connection with Tabitha's killing.
A Tulsa woman has been sentenced to 45 years in prison for shooting and killing a woman following a fight at the Osage Casino parking lot 2 years ago. Investigators say after the fight, Jacqueline Mills followed Tabitha Sinclair and shot Sinclair several times. Mills pled guilty to second-degree murder.